Edberg, you think is really charged up for the U.S. Open this year. Why?
Well, I spoke with him at the U.S. Open training room, and I asked him, you're playing the Hamlet again, because he did win here last year, but he lost first round of the Open. And I said, what are you going to do differently? And he just pumped his fist like this. And so obviously he realizes that determination is going to be big for him, not only to do well here, but also to do well at the Open. But this talented young Swede is capable of doing that.
Well, Edberg certainly very keen. Now let's start looking at this match that we saw earlier this afternoon. Stefan Edberg against Jimmy Connors. Edberg had won the first set 6-3. Edberg was leading 4-3 in the second. Connors, looking very strong, however, in this game broke back to get to 4-3. Jimmy with that great two-handed backhand, and there it was. And so Connors, as we pick up the action, was down 4-3, but getting ready to serve to try and get even in the second set at 4-all. A good look at the crowd here at the Hamlet afternoon action. They have had tremendous crowds out here in spite of the fact that the hurricane rolled through early in the week. And so now Jimmy Connors serving down 3-4 to the two-time Wimbledon champion Stefan Edberg. Again, this is action earlier. Connors with new balls, down a set and down 3-4. Connors quickly with that forehand. We saw a bit of this afternoon, Leaf, and he did look sharp.
Well, one thing that Jimmy does well that no one really talks about is his ability to serve and volley. And you can see oftentimes he likes to open up a game with a serve and volley point, get that first point in front, and you can see nice reactions at the net there.
Everybody talks about the quick hands from McEnroe as Connors entertains the crowd. Connors has got a good set of hands too. 15-love. Jimmy trying to get even here now at 4-all in the second. Again, Connors moving well to his left. Good forehand volley down the line. It's 30-love.
He's not a classic serve and volleyer, but does he get the job done? He's really honed his game over the last month playing World Team Tennis with Billie Jean's league there, and you can see he did play doubles in that as well with his partner John Lloyd. So his work at the net is sharp.
Connors 30-love. This is quarterfinal action from earlier this afternoon. Connors against Edberg. Edberg, the defending champion out here at the Hamlet. Stefan missing with the forehand. Doesn't like the feel of that racket. He'll go over and try another one.
Well, people have always talked about Edberg's forehand being a bit wayward on occasion. That one really got away from him. It's something he's worked on with his coach, Tony Picard. This one he sort of flicked at the finish. He didn't really firm that finish, so the ball flew.
And so Connors now up 40-love, trying to get even here in the second set. He lost the first 6-3. Oh, and a good deep volley, and so Jimmy Connors has held serve. It is 4 games all.
That's some great tennis from Jimmy Connors. Really swinging freely off both sides, creating a lot of pace.
And totally different conditions in the afternoon. Connors having some fun with the cameraman there, but very humid out here earlier today. 4-all. Stefan Edberg serving. He already had won the first set. It was 4 games all in the second. There's that classic backhand volley from Edberg.
I guess if Brad Gilbert saw that, he'd say that that was Stefan Edberg's equity shot. Really something he can count on in the clutch, that backhand volley.
You can see the sweat pouring off of Edberg. Totally different conditions. It's good. Connors getting the lob over Edberg. So now 15-all. Connors with a ray of hope.
15-all.
Perhaps to break here.
Well, one thing Jimmy Connors loves more than competing is returning serve. And he sets it up nicely with that inside-out backhand, a beautiful lob. Edberg almost makes the play.
Great try from Edberg there, well behind the baseline. 15-all. Connors looking sharp on the return of serve there. Giving Edberg a lot of trouble on that return, and so now Connors 15-30. Big chances.
Edberg did well to get that volley deep. He covers the forehand here, but he doesn't quite give it enough angle, so the ball falls in the net. You can see him saying, hit it out in front, hit it out in front.
Oh, it's going to go wide, and so now Connors at this point 2 break points, 4-all second set.
Well, Barry, we've mentioned on so many occasions how momentum is such an important factor here, and Jimmy down 2-4 now with 2 points to get up.
4-all.
5-4.
Thank you.
Double break point for Connors. 4-all second set. Just long.
24.
So Connors lets 1 break point disappear. Edberg trying to stay alive. Still down, break point.
Ladies and gentlemen, this semi-final match is the best of 3 tie-break sets.
This is action from earlier today. You may hear the umpire behind us. Some doubles play still out at the Hamlet, but you're watching quarterfinal action earlier this afternoon. And Edberg missing with the backhand, and so Jimmy Connors has broken serve. 5-4. Connors leading second set. Connors came very much to life in this second set. Now Jimmy to serve, leading 5-4. As we mentioned, very humid conditions. 20 degrees hotter earlier today than we had earlier in the McEnroe match.
Love
Go wide. Edberg trying to get his concentration back. Connors has been very tough on him here in this second set. No, it goes long. Edberg trying to get in behind. Jimmy looking there. You saw him point up. It was his tennis shoes he was remarking about, trying to get some attention from one of his aides there. Now watch it as this point ends.
Jimmy likes to have a new pair of shoes on when he plays. I have a feeling that these are feeling a little worn out. Possibly you may have some irritation in the shoe.
He's obviously calling for another pair of tennis shoes as he serves an ace down the center. Clean ace for Connors, and so now Jimmy 2 points away from the second set.
30-15.
Jimmy's a classic example of a guy who you don't need a big serve, but look at that placement, that nice left-handed serve right in the corner. Edberg with no reply.
Just long. And a good pickup, but Edberg lines up the backhand passing shot. And so at this point, Edberg with a chance to perhaps get back in it.
Jimmy tries to serve and volley again. It's worked for him in the past, but this one, the return is too good. Look at this backhand passing shot. He sets it up so well. What a classic stroke that is.
30-all. Connors leading 5-4, trying to win this second set. Edberg with the first. 6-3. just wide. No.
34.
Connors took a chance leap on what looked to be a ball he maybe should not have come in behind.
Well, that one fell a little short, although he did have a volley there that he could have made. He just overhit the volley, trying to come in on the off ball. Gives it just a little too much punch.
He's really unhappy there. He wants to win this second set. But now a chance for Edberg. 30-40. No. Connors just backs off, lets it go long. Back to deuce. Extremely hot and humid conditions earlier today out here at the Hamlet. Oh yes, it's good. Connors, great coverage on that forehand volley.
It's been a long time since we've seen Jimmy Connors spend so much time at the net, but look at that stretch. Good improvisation there. A nice stretch volley. Kept that ball under control. When you're on the move to either side, you really have to try and keep your head still and the racket firm. You can see Jimmy with his eye right on it.
So now set point. And there it was, Connors down the line. And so Jimmy Connors had won the second set out here earlier today at the Hamlet. He evens this match at a set apiece. There's a fan, jumps up, gives Jimmy a little support. And so quarterfinal action out here. Connors had evened it a set apiece. This is best of three. The winner into the semifinals.
Well, I think Connors realizes that if he spends too much time in the backcourt, Edberg is going to beat him to the net. So Connors is really looking to establish that he is going to try and get in as well. And so far it seems to be working very well.
Stefan Edberg serving. First game, third set. And Connors looking sharp now, pulling over the shot that has given him so much trouble through the years, the forehand. Not that time. Love 15. First game, third set. Connors again jumps all over the second serve of Edberg, and so Connors now first game, third set, big chances. Love 30.
Well, this is where Jimmy is so dangerous when he's returning serve. Of all the guys in the top 10, I think.
Thank you.
There's Tony Picard, the coach of Stefan Edberg through the years.
Connors always does well against serve and volleyers like Stefan. Really gets pumped up to play big servers. He likes to diffuse them.
Love 40.
And so now, tremendous opportunity for Jimmy Connors out here. Love 40, triple break point against Stefan Edberg. The winner of this match will play Olivier de la Terre from France, who beat Thierry Champion.
15-40.
Edberg saving one break point. Kind of almost leaped there, looked kind of gingerly as he tiptoed after that ball. I don't think he's having any trouble with his feet or his legs. Just for a moment it looked that way. Double break point. Goes short.
30-40.
Connors talking to himself, did not like the way he threw up the lob.
Well, like he's telling himself, you like those defensive lobs high and deep.
Still a chance here now. Break point. Number 3 for Jimmy Connors. And Edberg, after being down love 40, wins 3 points in a row. It's deuce. Boy, that really hurts, doesn't it, Leaf, when you have 3 opportunities like that early? We are at courtside. The audio you hear in the background is live at the Hamlet. This is action from earlier today. Quarterfinals, Connors against Edberg. Connors has just let 3 break points slip away, and now Edberg with a chance to hold serve in the first game of the 3rd set.
The first game is so critical. Both guys wanting to get a jump on the other.
And there it is. Edberg holds serve, and so Stefan Edberg leading 1-love, 3rd set. Outside of Comac, Long Island, on Long Island, New York, where we are seeing action from earlier today. Stefan Edberg taking on Jimmy Connors. This was the quarterfinals. Connors very much in this match, down love 1 now in the 3rd set. Edberg. What about Jimmy Connors, Leaf, at this point in his career? 39 years old soon, and he looks very sharp to me out here.
I think World Team Tennis was a big help for him, helped him get that competitive edge back.
No, Edberg missing again with the forehand, continuing to pound the strings, not happy with the tension in that racket. A look at the total points, dead even after 2 sets and a few games here in the 3rd. 30-love. Yes.
We're seeing Connors coming to the net more, and I think that's something that he learned at World Team Tennis, that he has to be aggressive. Of course, this man has the answer this time. Boy, it's tough to go to this man's backhand and win a lot of points. He can hurt you in so many ways with it, the chip, and there was a nice example of the backhand drive.
Beautiful follow-through by Edberg, that high follow-through. Connors up 30-15, but down love 1, and a miss-hit from Edberg.
It's a good serve into Edberg's forehand pocket there at the body. That lefty serve really slides into that side. For a right-hander, that is not an easy one to get back.
Right on the line.
40-30.
Edberg will wish that he had a few of those returns as the U.S. Open approaches.
Well, he made that one look easy. Jimmy gets so many first serves in that you don't see that second serve a lot, and Edberg hasn't had the opportunities to get in behind it like he did there.
Still game point for Connors.
Let's see if Edberg looks to come in if he can. Jimmy might try to slice this one out wide. Don't give Edberg too much to attack.
No, it goes long. Another error from the Edberg forehand, and so Jimmy Connors holds serve It is 1 game all. Third set.
1 game all.
Another advantage of serving and volleying more is that the points go a little faster. So Jimmy knows he has a full set of tennis ahead of him here. He might be trying to conserve energy, trying to win points quickly, getting to the net when he's ahead.
Do you think Connors likes to play net rushers, Leaf?
Oh, I think he loves it. He loves the challenge of having to hit pinpoint passing shots. And he loves big serve and volleyers, especially guys like Stefan Edberg.
1-all, third set. Edberg and Connors, quarterfinal action earlier this afternoon here at the Hamlet. John McEnroe will play Yvonne Lendl tomorrow in one semifinal. The winner of this match taking on De La Terre as Connors nails the two-hander up the line. Love 15. Well, Jimmy's certainly giving Edberg more trouble on his serve than the other way here.
Well, oftentimes it was more scary serving against Jimmy than returning. You knew you could at least get the returns back against Jimmy. Boy, how many times have you seen that? Beautiful backhand pass.
Love 15. Edberg right back with a clean ace out wide. 15-all. Yes, Connors again with that two-hander looking very sharp down the line.
Well, Edberg actually covered that volley, but the sheer pace, Jimmy hit it so hard that Edberg could not handle it. Pretty good first volley. Look at the excellent legs, nice knee bend. He covers that ball. It was just hit too hard.
So again, Edberg struggling on his own serve, down 15-30. Oh, just missing on that forehand return, not by much.
Well, that one looked pretty good to me.
Jimmy said, "Looked good to me too."
Saying that his son Brett had seen it good. He's sitting right on the line.
There is Brett, Jimmy's son in the pink shirt. It's deuce. And a football called on Edberg. We have seen quite a few footballs called on Stefan. Most people think, Leaf, that his right foot moves into a spot just inside of the baseline. You see how it moves there. Connors in quickly, knocks it off, and so again, Connors with a chance.
13-4.
Look at him move forward quickly to that ball. When you get the short ball, you want to get it before it drops below the level of the net. He was still able to hit down on it.
And he pulled up quickly there. He was very close to the net. So now a chance for Connors here early in the third set. Second serve. Now he'll let that go just over the baseline.
Well, that's what Edberg does so well. He's got a great second serve, and it's that constant service pressure of hitting that high twisting ball.
Let first serve. missing with the backhand. And so Connors continues to stay in this match. Earlier this afternoon, this was quarterfinal action. A chance for Connors here to break. As you said, Leaf, when he needs it, Edberg just opens up with that deep first serve. So he saves another break point.
Great first service delivery. Again, into Jimmy's forehand. Jimmy couldn't control it.
The crowd you're hearing in the background, live action out here in doubles at the Hamlet. We're bringing you action from earlier today. This was quarterfinal singles as Edberg was taking on Jimmy Connors. Again, Edberg with the foot fault. There's the base linesman.
Oftentimes, if you're serving and volleying, they're right, the right foot. He wants to get in quickly.
Yeah. Connors with the lob. It goes wide, and so Edberg now with the chance to hold.
I often think foot faults reflect how well the man you're playing against is returning. If he's returning well, you're thinking, I have to get in quickly behind the serve. And I think it's the pressure Jimmy Connors is putting on Edberg that's forcing Edberg to foot fault. He's getting a little bit ahead of himself.
Edberg with an ad here now.
I'm KT Middleton, WALP Radio, Long Island's #1 radio station. And we're proud to be the official radio station of the North Star Main Hamlet Challenge.
Connors with that high lob. It'll go wide, and so Edberg has held serve in the third game of the third set. Quarterfinal action, Connors and Edberg. It was a set apiece. Connors to serve, down 1-2 in the third set.
Both these guys are staying in Long Island. Jimmy came down. He stayed over at Vitas's house last evening. Not too far from here. But Stefan Edberg.
Vitas Carolitis.
Vitas Carolitis.
Our old buddy.
You bet.
And so now Connors serving, down 1-2, and very much at this point looking like he had an excellent chance to win this match. 15-love. Again, Edberg having trouble with the forehand, Leaf. What do you think he's doing wrong on that shot?
Well, I think partly it has to do to Jimmy Connors hitting the ball so heavy and so deep. Jimmy's using a new racket, and I think he's feeling very confident with it. His ball is coming in very fast and very heavy with spin and pace.
Connors got one of those more wide body.
A little
rackets.
more wide body feel to it. He's really smoking the groundies.
Connors eases the lob into the backcourt. It stays in.
Well, Jimmy Connors never had the top spin lob, but he had one of the best lobs in the game. You can see a little bit of underspin. He holds it and lifts it up over Edberg's head. Beautifully placed right on the baseline.
And again, Edberg with the errant forehand, and so Connors holds serve. It is 2 games all. Third set.
When Connors really has had the best of it here in the third. He's had Edberg down on his serve twice, and he's held serve relatively easily.
Edberg looking a bit concerned at this point. Connors very loose. These are all bonus matches for Jimmy, he feels, at this point in his career. Again, this was action earlier this afternoon. Edberg and Connors, quarterfinals, 2-all, third set. And again, a foot fault. And Edberg looks over this time. There is the lineswoman calling it, and we've pretty much determined that the Edberg foot fault comes from the right foot. Stefan moving up on the baseline. Second serve. There's that crunch off that angled backhand volley.
Good adjustment from Edberg there. The ball was mishit, so he moved to it very quickly. Gave it some juice. Of course, Jimmy keeping loose by talking to the fans in between points.
And you think there is Brett, Jimmy's son, getting much bigger than last time we saw him toddle off that center court a few years ago. Sneaks in behind the shot. Just wide. That's the play I think Jimmy does so well. He hits that deep shot and then just instantly senses that he has the opportunity, leaping in quickly in for the volley. I think he learned a bit of that from our old friend Pancho Segura. We used to call him Sneaky because he snuck in behind those kind of shots, and Connors played some tennis with him in the old days in Los Angeles. Just wide.
Everyone has stopped by their booth for a chance to win a fabulous weekend for two, including gold.
No, and a double fault. And so Edberg double faulting. Again, the noise you're hearing behind us, we're live out here at the Hamlet, and we are showing you action from earlier today. Jimmy Connors in the quarterfinals against this gentleman, Stefan Edberg. John McEnroe has moved into the semifinals earlier this evening with a win over Luis Matar from Brazil. He'll play Lendl tomorrow in the semifinals. The winner of this match will take on Oliver de la Terre from France, who beat Thierry Champion. We'll have all that for you right here on Prime Network. No, Connors missing with the two-hander. He has not missed many of those in this third set. (40-15). No. Again, Jimmy looking sharp on the return. Lead.
What he does so well is he gets the ball down below the level of the net, and he makes Edberg volley up, something it's very tough to do considering how well Edberg moves in. And he covers this ball by rolling it cross court. Jimmy's so good at hitting and moving, hitting and moving. He's always ready for the next shot.
Edberg, 40-30. No, it's a fault. And there it is, Stefan Edberg holding serve. And so Edberg, 3-2, third set.
Edberg leads 3 games to 2.
And at this point this afternoon, Leaf, Jimmy Connors looking like he could perhaps get into the semifinals.
Love 15.
Edberg quickly in, love 15. Edberg won the first set, 6-3. Connors came back to win the second. This is action now in the third. Connors with a break. Just catches the top of the net. 15 all.
15 all.
she'd show me where the hell it is.
Connors being urged on by this crowd out here earlier today. Edberg missing long. Connors now 2 points away from a 5-3 lead in the third. Just wide. Connors thought he had an ace out wide now. Let's listen. Finds person. Good low volleys there from Edberg.
Well, Connors made him play 2 very difficult volleys with lots of pace, but Edberg was up to the task.
These are
very big points, yeah.
Absolutely, Lee. Watch this.
Nice hands on the forehand. Laid the wrist back. And that was the coup de grace.
Would have given Connors 15-40 instead. It's tight here. 30 all. Edberg solid on the backhand return. And so now Connors faces a break point. Down 30-40. But leading 4-3.
He decided to come in on this one, but that little hesitation there. I'm not sure he believed in himself enough there. You can see he just stutter steps a bit there to try and recover. He can't do it in time to cover that nice backhand pass.
Yes, Connors down the center. What a crucial time for it.
And we saw McEnroe do that so well. That left-hander serving that one up the middle. So difficult to play those lefties. You know they can go out wide. You try and cover that wide one, yet they pop that one up the middle. You really can't move to it.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
So deuce once again. Just wide. Connors trying to wrong foot Edberg that time. Waited for him to make the move, hit behind him, but it was wide. And so once again, Edberg with a chance.
I thought he was going to go back cross court to Edberg's forehand. Just misses that on the sideline.
So break point for Stefan Edberg. 3-4. Connors leading with a break. I should say 4-3. But now a chance for Edberg to get even at 4-all here in the third set. This is action from earlier today. is in. Oh, and a brilliant cross-court volley from Connors. Just cuts it off very thin.
Oh, it's a great point from Jimmy. Gets the short ball from Edberg, chips it up the line, covers the line. Look at the racket control.
That is a great angle volley.
Hall of Fame angle here.
Ooh.
Look at him just slice the ball. He just hits the edge of the ball with his racket face.
Look at that reaction. Connors gets him going at the Hamlet earlier today. It's deuce. Ooh, what a good shot that was. Great anticipation from Connors. Jimmy trying to dump that touch two-hander cross court. Edberg keeping the pressure on here. Again, this was action in the quarterfinals out here at the Hamlet earlier this afternoon as Stefan Edberg was taking on Jimmy Connors. Connors leading at this point in the match. Third set, 4-3, but Edberg now with a chance to break. No, and it goes long, and so Edberg has broken serve. It is now 4 games all, third set. Winner of this match to take on Oliver de la Terre from France. That will be tomorrow. We'll have it for you on Prime. And also tomorrow, 2 old rivals, John McEnroe and Yvonne Lendl, will be going at each other in the semifinals out here at this beautiful Hamlet. You're looking at the clubhouse there in the background. They have completed that building since we were here a year ago. Edberg to serve, 4-all, third set. No.
15.
Edberg handling another one of those good forehand returns from Connors. 15 love. No.
Well, that volley had a lot of depth and a lot of weight. Connors did well to get it close to the line, but he couldn't pull it in.
One thing we've seen Edberg improve on here in the third set, the low forehand volley. He's handled it extremely well as this match has worn on. Connors now trying to get a little extra wind. It was hot, maybe 20 degrees hotter out here earlier this afternoon than we found it tonight when McEnroe played Matar. Again, the foot fault. That's at least 4 foot faults called on Edberg. And you know, you wonder, Leaf, coming into the U.S. Open, a lot of these officials watch closely. They're going to do that to him at the Open. Edberg with the low forehand volley.
Boy, when he's making his forehand volley, he's dangerous. Because if he has a side that does tend to falter, it is the forehand. And when he's volleying like this, look at that, he goes behind Connors. Great tactic.
So Edberg now 40 love, trying to get to 5-4. Connors overhitting, and so Edberg holds serve. Stefan Edberg leading 5-4, third set. Okay. Welcome back to the Hamlet Golf and Country Club. You are watching action from earlier today. This was afternoon action as Jimmy Connors was taking on Stefan Edberg. The score at this point in the match, 4-5 in the third set. Connors down, trying to hold serve to get even at 5-all. This was earlier today, quarterfinal action. We brought you earlier McEnroe beating Louis Matar. He'll play Lendl tomorrow. The winner of this match will go against de la Terre from France. Edberg Having some trouble earlier today with that forehand, starting to talk to himself.
He just didn't move his feet there, and he really guided that ball. When he's hitting the ball well, his feet are moving, and he's getting prepared for that one. He looked a little late in setting up.
15 all. Ooh, that's a good approach by Edberg.
Beautiful shot. Again, you can see him moving forward so effectively.
Edberg solid off that backhand, and now Edberg 3 points away from victory. Connors trying to stay in it. 15 all. Jimmy down 4-5.
Jimmy's really beginning to miss more first serves here, so he's not getting those chances to get into the net as often. He's really having to work from the back.
And Connors with the forehand into the tape, and so now Jimmy down 15-30.
Really taking advantage of the old adage there. They say play the strength but attack the weakness. So there he was hitting more balls to Edberg's backhand, trying to open up something so that he could attack the forehand. But unfortunately he made the error before he could really develop the point.
15-30. Edberg misses with the backhand, and so Jimmy stays very much in it. It's 30 all.
Sure is thinking get that first serve in here.
As we've mentioned several times, it was extremely humid. Brett Connors, Jimmy's son, in attendance. No call. I thought for a moment it was going to be a fault. And now Stefan Edberg stands at match point against Connors.
And Jimmy volleys cross court into this ever dangerous backhand. Look at the take back. Oh, he stays down on it beautifully.
Quiet, please.
No, it goes long, and so Connors, a great effort out here earlier today against Edberg, but Stefan Edberg finally puts it away in 3. Jimmy Connors had a break, was serving with a wonderful opportunity, but Edberg came back, and so there was Edberg in 3 sets. Stay with us. We'll be back. Brought to you by North Star Bank, a member of the Fleet North Star Financial Group. And our results earlier today, Stefan Edberg beating Jimmy Connors in a fine match, 3 sets, 6-3, 4-6, and 6-4. And so Edberg into the semifinals.